what up, it's Dane. In this video I'm going to give you some interesting topics. So the biggest mistake people are making when they try to lose belly fat, and this happens all the time. I guarantee you probably doing this yourself, especially if you're not very knowledgeable about losing fat. A lot of people don't know this, so let's tell you straight away. First of all, by eating quote-unquote healthy foods, right, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to lose weight, because you can overconsume on especially healthy fats, right? So eating nuts doesn't necessarily mean you're just going to lose weight, because nuts, like one hand, contain like 400 calories, whereas one massive bowl of vegetables contain 400 calories. One's going to fill you up a lot more than the other. So that's one out of the way, but that's not the biggest mistake I'm going to tell you. I'm just telling you some mistakes along the line. So when people try to lose belly fat as well, they think, okay, cardio, cardio, cardio. In fact, I spoke to someone the other day that asked me for some advice to lose fat, right? They're like, Dane, I've got a sore back, I can't go to the gym, stuff like this. So I'm saying, okay, go to the supermarket, walk down the aisle that's called a vegetable aisle on fruit, whichever veg or fruit, and then just use your hand like that and put all of them in your basket, right? Instead of going to the gym, because you can do as much cardio as you want, right? And you can still not lose weight if your diet is shit. You can never outwork a bad diet. And this is said again and again and again in the fitness industry. Some people still don't get it. You see, there's so many women go to the gym, cardio, 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 7 days a week. When they go home, they eat pizza and some shit like this, and they're still not losing weight. It's all about your calorie intake at the end of the day. You can do this by two things. So to get in a negative calorie intake to lose fat, you can increase your output, which means obviously physical activity, cardio, and decrease your intake, which is food, which I generally recommend. But let's not ramble on too much. The biggest mistake when it comes to fat loss and losing belly fat is this: NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. I say this in a lot of my losing belly fat videos, losing fat, right? And the main reason I say this is this, right? Because once someone starts losing weight, right, first of all, after a few weeks, maybe the first even 1 week, after a few days, right, their basal metabolic rate drops by like 20%, some insane number just after a few days, meaning they don't burn as many calories as they did before they started this fat loss diet. I was going to say quote unquote, I don't know why I did that. But before they started this fat loss diet, right, they say their calorie maintenance was 2,500. After 1 week, their BMI has probably dropped to about, say, 2,200, even 100. So they're only burning 2,100 calories per day, right? So the whole reason why I'm telling you this kind of background story-wise, it's not really a story, but you know what I'm trying to tell you, is because it is. Once someone, and this varies in a lot of individuals, so keep listening here. You kind of need to think about this consciously, even though this movement is subconsciously. A lot of people, when they start dropping their calorie intake, they become lazy and lethargic, obviously because they haven't got as much energy and nutrients in their body, and it's rightly so, it kind of makes sense. However, a lot of individuals, even when they do drop their calories, they're still kind of active, they're moving a lot unconsciously. This is, remember, it's not just, I'm not talking about walking up the stairs, going for a walk, going for jogs, like activity you actually think of doing. This is like how much you sit per day, how much you lie, how much you walk up the stairs, just general activity that you don't even think about. This is the biggest factor when it comes to fat loss. And that's why some people actually can't lose fat, right? Because they say, okay, I'm eating 2,100 calories and you've told me to eat this, right? And after 1 or 2 weeks, it's just all of a sudden stopped. Why is this? And then I'm saying, okay, so what about your physical activity level during the days? Not just jogging, like, are you just sitting all day? Are you lying down? Are you moving? Are you cleaning the house? Just general movement, stuff like this burns a lot more calories than people think, right? So also, if you didn't know, when bodybuilders are cutting down to low levels of body fat, when they're natural especially, I know a lot of them just have step counters on their phone to just increase the steps, right? Because they haven't got enough energy to do any cardio, and they want to maintain or even increase their non-exercise activity thermogenesis and increase the output right there. So to get to the point and summarize the whole video, when you're trying to lose belly fat, make sure you are still moving a lot. And like I said, this is not just running, doing cardio. This is making sure you don't sit a lot, which is why I recommend a lot of people get a standing desk, and that's what I'm going to get real soon. Because in fact, if you haven't watched my video before about preventing death, and I don't think they even got a lot of views. I don't know why. I guess the title wasn't that appealing, but basically, I read a study, man. And this is from James Krieger, like a well-known guy in the industry, and it said like you have like a 94% increased death success rate by sitting 6+ hours a day. So if you're working a 9-to-5 job in an office sitting all day, you're in trouble, man. You need to buy a standing desk. Anyway, I've just digressed all the way from A to Z. I don't know how I just did that, but anyway, increase their non-exercise activity thermogenesis, and you should still lose your belly fat. Without further ado, why can't I speak? You already know the deal. Subscribe down below if you'd like to see 3 videos a day. If that's too much value for you, pick all 3. Normally I say pick all one. I got you there, man. Yeah, pick at least one. I'd just advise you watch all 3 so you can get the most knowledge as possible. And as always, if you don't know, I've released a skinny to buff program. Some people have already bought it. I don't know, there has been some good customer reviews, but that's future review. When you buy